Welcome back to Tech Talk Central, everyone. If you're maybe sitting there looking at your old 1080p projector or, trying to figure out the ultimate upgrade for a new space, well, you've come to the right place.
We are definitely diving deep today. We're not just going to list specs. We want to dissect the thinking behind two major 4K projector releases, the BenQ X3100i, really built for that hardcore gamer, and the new XGIMI Horizon S Max, the 2024 model that's all about smart, convenience, and cinema quality.
Exactly. Our mission today is to cut through all the marketing buzz and help you figure out, okay, which one is actually right for your setup. We're going to boil this down because these two, they really do split the high-end market quite neatly.
That's the absolute key point right from the start. You need to ask yourself,
Okay.
what's my main goal? Is it pure raw speed, like zero lag for gaming? Or is it more about having the super intelligent, adaptable cinematic experience that just works anywhere?
Yeah, the features really reflect those two different paths.
Complete.
Okay, so let's start unpacking this. Foundation first. Resolution and brightness. Thankfully, both are true 4K. We're talking 3840 by 2160. No messing around there.
Correct. Both hit that standard. But brightness, this is where we need to pause a sec because they use different measuring sticks. The BenQ X3100i, it's rated at 3300 ANSI lumens,
Okay.
while the XGIMI Horizon S Max comes in slightly lower numerically at 3100 ISO lumens.
Right, that ANS Iris ISO thing, that always seems to trip people up. So for someone just wanting to know, like, how bright is this going to look if my living room isn't a perfect black cave? What's the practical difference?
Well, it's interesting because ISO-T, that's the International Organization for Standardization, their standard is generally seen as perhaps a bit more rigorous, more globally consistent than ANSI. So while 3100 looks smaller than 3300, the XGIMI's 3100 ISO lumens, that's still considered really, really bright. It's designed specifically to handle, a bit more ambient light, effectively. Fundamentally, they're both powerhouses. But the XGIMI's rating, you could argue, might be a slightly more reliable measure of that sustained high-quality brightness.
Got it. Now, let's shift to color, because this feels like where the XGI starts to, show off its movie credentials. It's got IMAX Enhanced and Dolby Vision certifications.
Yeah.
And these aren't just logos, right? They actually matter for getting the best picture from streaming today.
Oh, absolutely. Dolby Vision is key. It means the projector reads dynamic metadata, optimizing the picture scene by scene, sometimes even frame by frame. It's vital for modern HDR.
Right.
And then you add that huge 110% BT.2020 color gamut. I mean, the XGIMI is clearly aiming for that top-tier cinematic experience, maybe even thinking about future content sources.
Wait, 110% BT.2020, that sounds enormous. How does the BenQ counter that on the color front?
The BenQ takes a slightly different, maybe more professional approach. It focuses on 100% DCI-P3 color accuracy, plus their own BenQ HDR Pro tech.
Okay, DCI-P3, that's the cinema standard, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's what digital cinemas use now. So the BenQ is about delivering ultra-precise, reliable color for today's content. That translates beautifully to gaming, too, especially those big open-world titles where visual accuracy is key.
Oh.
BT 2020 on the XGIMI is, well, it's arguably more future-proof for content that isn't fully mainstream yet. The BenQ is about nailing fidelity right now, especially for its core gaming audience.
That makes a lot of sense. Precision now versus future-proofing. And that leads us perfectly into the BenQ's main arena, the gaming corner. It's literally called a true 4K gaming projector.
And they back that up. If you put gaming in the name, you absolutely have to deliver on speed. And speed means low latency. It's non-negotiable for serious players.
Totally. We're talking about that tiny delay, the milliseconds between hitting a button and seeing the action on screen. Even a little bit can mess up your timing in fast games.
Precisely. And the BenQ delivers. It gets down to an incredible 4 milliseconds of latency if you run it at 1080p resolution with a 240 Hz refresh rate. Super smooth.
Wow, 4 mirror.
But what's maybe even more impressive is running at full 4K resolution, the latency is still just 16 milliseconds. That's blazing fast for a projector.
Okay, so 16 meters at 4K. For someone who isn't like a pro esports player, why is that still a big deal?
Well, if you're playing, say, a slow turn-based RPG, you probably wouldn't notice 40 or 50 milliseconds. But 16 meters, that's less than a single frame at 60 Hz. It means the game feels incredibly responsive, almost instantaneous. For fast shooters like Call of Duty or games where timing is crucial, like Elden Ring, it really does provide that lag-free feel. It changes how connected you feel to the game.
Okay, gotcha. And BenQ seems built for that dedicated game cave idea, right? Even down to the audio connections, it has ERC support.
Yes, and that ERC is critical for a clean setup. It lets you pass full bandwidth AudioThings 7.1 channel surround or even uncompressed Dolby Atmos straight from your console through the projector and out to your fancy soundbar or AV receiver. It's essential if you're building out a serious, properly integrated gaming room.
Right, so BenQ, the focused performance machine.
Yeah.
Speed, precision setup. Which means the XGMI Horizon S Max has to counter with something different. And that's where its intelligent screen adaptation, ISA 5.0, comes into play. It's all about convenience.
ISA 5.0 is really the XGMI's killer app. It tackles the biggest pain point of projectors, the setup hassle. It uses pretty advanced sensors and AI to make it almost truly plug and play.
I love the sound of the wall color adaptation.
Is it?
The idea that you don't necessarily need a perfect white screen anymore. It just adjusts the colors to look right on, say, a beige wall.
It's brilliant, especially for portability. And ISA 5.0 handles all that stuff you used to fiddle with manually. It has obstacle avoidance, so it'll automatically shrink the image to avoid a light switch or a picture frame.
Okay.
Plus, you get uninterrupted auto keystone fixing the shape if the projector's at an angle and auto screen alignment. It even detects if you're watching a super wide 21.9 movie and adjusts the picture automatically.
And the physical design leans into that too, right? It has a built-in stand, so you don't need extra mounts just to aim it properly, even maybe onto the ceiling.
Exactly. That's the whole philosophy. Ultimate flexibility. Put it anywhere, turn it on, and it figures things out.
But, okay, here's the tech question. Doesn't digital correction, like Keystone, even the smart ISA 5.0 version, usually mean some slight loss in image quality compared to getting it perfectly aligned physically? Is that the trade-off?
That is the perfect point to bring up. Yes, generally speaking, anytime you digitally remap pixels to correct geometry, you can introduce a tiny bit of softness or scaling artifacts. It's often very minor with modern systems like ISA 5.0, but technically it's not as pure as a mechanically perfect setup.
So the XGMI user accepts maybe a tiny image purity compromise for massive convenience.
Precisely. And that's where the BenQ hits back with its pro setup tools. It doesn't have the smarts of ISA 5.0, but it offers mechanical lens shift, 40 to 60% vertical range, and a 1.3x optical zoom.
Lens shift, okay, explain that simply. What does that let you do that tilting the projector doesn't?
It lets you physically move the entire image up or down without tilting the projector body itself. Tilting is what causes that trapezoid shake that needs digital keystone correction.
Ah, right.
With lens shift, you can mount the BenQ high up on a shelf or ceiling, keep the projector perfectly level, and then just shift the lens down to hit the screen perfectly square. No digital correction needed, so you maintain maximum sharpness and pixel-perfect detail. That's why installers prefer it for permanent setups.
Okay, that really clarifies the trade-off.
Yeah.
XGMI, super convenient, maybe a hair less sharp potentially.
Yeah.
BenQ, more work to install perfectly, but yields that uncompromised image.
You've got it. Now let's quickly touch on the OS and the extras, how you actually interact with these things.
Right. So smarts-wise, the BenQ uses Google-certified Android TV. That's a big plus for most people. Familiar interface, huge app store, built-in Chromecast, and AirPlay support. Just works.
Yeah, Google certification generally means fewer headaches with app compatibility, especially things like Netflix, which can sometimes be tricky on non-certified Android-based systems. The XGMI uses its own OS, often based on Android, but the BenQ route is usually the most seamless for apps.
And built-in sound. Both have speakers, but there seems to be a difference here too. The BenQ has a 10-watt Trevolo speaker. Decent, maybe?
Decent, but probably basic. The XGMI, though, really steps up here. It packs dual 12-watt Harman Kardon speakers. That's 24 watts total with 360-degree sound tech.
Okay, Harman Kardon. That sounds much better.
It is. It's not just louder. It provides a genuinely richer, more room-filling sound right out of the box. If you're not planning on hooking up an external sound system right away, the XGMI's built-in audio is significantly more satisfying.
Good point. And lastly, the SGMI seems to focus a bit on user wellness and portability, things like eye comfort certifications.
Yeah, it has SGS low blue light and low speckle certifications aimed at reducing eye strain, nice touch for families or long viewing sessions, and it ties into that all-rounder identity.
And the weight difference really highlights the portability angle. The XGMI is, what, about 10.5 pounds?
10.58 pounds, yeah. Pretty manageable. The BenQ, on the other hand, is built like a tank. It comes in at 19.01 pounds, almost double.
Wow, 19 pounds. Okay, so the BenQ isn't something you're casually moving from room to room. It's more of a permanent fixture.
Definitely. That weight reflects its robust build, probably more extensive cooling needed for its brightness and performance targets. It's designed for a fixed install. The XGIMI's lightness confirms it's the one you can easily shift around living room, bedroom, maybe even outside on a nice night.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all up. When you synthesize everything, brightness, color, speed, convenience, sound, portability, what's the final clear takeaway for someone trying to choose?
I think the distinction is actually quite clear now. The BenQ X3100i is the dedicated gaming specialist. If your primary use is console gaming, especially fast-paced stuff, and lowest possible latency is your absolute priority, this is your machine. You value that 4 millis 16 meters response time and the precision of mechanical tools like lens shift for a perfect permanent setup.
Right, you accept less convenience for peak gaming performance.
Exactly. Then you have the XGMI Horizon S Max. This is the intelligent cinematic all-rounder. It trades that last fraction of gaming speed for huge gains in setup convenience with ISO 5.0, premium movie format support like Dolby Vision and IMAX enhanced, much better built-in audio, and real portability.
So perfect for someone who watches a lot of movies, maybe moves the projector around, and wants it to just work easily on any surface without fiddling.
That's the ideal user, yes.
Yeah.
So the choice really boils down to gaming speed and precision setup versus cinematic convenience and adaptability.
Okay, here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. If you could magically take just one standout feature from one of these projectors and add it to the other, would you give the super convenient XGMA, the BenQ's ultra-low 4 meters gaming latency, or would you give the super fast BenQ, the XGA's incredible ISA 5.0 setup smarts? Thinking about which feature you'd transfer probably tells you exactly which type of user you are and which projector is ultimately right for you.
That's a great way to frame the final decision, what matters most.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive comparison here on Tech Talk Central. If you do want to check out the latest prices and deals for both the XGMI Horizon S Max and the BenQ X3100i, definitely look for the links down in the description below.
Yeah, we hope this helped cut through some of the confusion. Thanks for watching.
And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for Tech Talk Central. We'll have more deep dives and tech comparisons coming your way. We'll see you in the next one.